Greetings. I hope all's progressing well. Welcome to I Don't Know. We can talk about it. My name is Kevin Dufresne. We're going to be talking about a variety of topics. Of course, I Don't Know, we can talk about it works in tandem with Pietro's forum. So, we may not go through every single topic in the forum, though those panels are available so people can suggest, and perhaps I'll be able to talk about what I don't know about. Of course, the world we live in, of opinions and facts. So I want to talk about some serious topics, of course, then we'll ease into some lighter topics. Of course, I'm really big on privacy. One of the biggest factors of our society today is privacy. What do we do about our public and private presence, especially when commerce, industry intersects so much with our daily lives? So, first, I want to mention this story about a Roomba with recording capabilities for training purposes that eventually ends up revealing private photos into the public sphere. And sometimes I wonder, the Internet of Things, is it really, really private? Or is it really just for the public to seem private? It's a strange connection. Though, here we are. So the story deals with a woman that is on her toilet using it, and of course the story expands to reveal more intimate photos where Roombas are online, sadly, all in connection to bring us around to, well, how extensive is security? Very frightening, because this falls under this umbrella of surveillance. Realistically, anytime you can record anything and reveal anything and someone can have it, that all ranges into this safety parameter. Which brings us to our next story.
We actually only dated about 3 months. It was really good at first, and all of a sudden, it just changed.
Lauren Hughes says her ex-boyfriend stalked her using an Apple AirTag, a device intended to help iOS users keep track of their personal belongings. Hughes is now suing Apple as part of a potential class action lawsuit seeking unspecified monetary damages and to deter Apple from engaging in what she calls future misconduct. Lauren, walk me through what happened.
So I was actually in the process of moving due to the stalker. He had been leaving things at my door, unwanted notes and gifts and things along those lines. And I was living in a hotel at the time, and then in the process of moving to a new place, and I was going back to my old place to pack a few things into my car. And that's when I got the notification that the AirTag was moving with me. In my case, it was on my watch, and it says the owner of the device can see your location.
You get this notification. What do you do next?
The first thing I did actually was I called my mom, and I just called her crying because I had already been going through so much at that point in time, and just finding that notification just kind of broke me in that moment. And then after that, I got out of my car and I started searching for it until I was thankfully able to find it in the wheel well.
Apple did not respond to a request for comment on this specific case, but previously said AirTag was designed to help people locate their personal belongings, not to track people or another person's property, and we condemn in the strongest possible terms any malicious use of our products. Earlier this year, the company added more safeguards to cut down on unwanted tracking, such as alerting iOS users sooner and louder if the device is suspected to be tracking someone. Why file a lawsuit against Apple and not your stalker directly?
There is no way for me to know how long that AirTag had been on my car. And I did reach out. I went to Apple to try to get more answers. There should be a better way. Like, it's a dangerous product. As far as the law goes, there wasn't much that was done to the actual stalker. I did go to the authorities about that, and it didn't accomplish much.
Do you think Apple should stop making these devices?
Unless they're able to make them safer, then yes, I do think they should stop making these devices.
What's your message to Apple?
I don't think they understand how truly terrifying it is to find that device on your car being misused. And they need to think about their consumers that enjoy their other products being tracked and stalked and having this AirTag used maliciously against them and the effect that it has on their life every day.
So how are you doing now?
I'm doing okay. I try to live my life normally, but there's always that life-altering thing that's happened. There's no other way to describe it, really. I just hope that I'm able to help other people not feel the way that I feel.
To be able to monitor someone through an AirTag is wild. I mean, I understand safety parameters to help a person find what they might need later on, or even find a person later on. You know, like a Find My Phone feature. I understand that is a huge benefit to some people. Though, in this case, to be in a relationship for 3 months, then have a stalker, I mean, I understand that people are not really speaking the same language when it comes to relationships and intimacy. Some people are just so off the radar of making sense when it comes to being in a relationship. It's frightening in some instances. Of course, we probably all know a story where surveillance goes too far. Of course, we have surveillance vehicles, surveillance tools that already go too far. Some of which not many people even know about, that are dangerous to livelihoods. It gets real deep. It gets real intricate to the point where it might all seem like sci-fi. So here we're in a space where we're talking about something that is evident, where it's clear that this is a tracking device and this woman has proof that someone is tagging her, and she uses the breadcrumbs to follow and discover. And I think when she mentions how she feels, can you imagine someone watching you, being able to watch your family, being able to watch what you do, see what you see, and feeling helpless to it, especially when the evidence might not seem so apparent in all cases. So she's obviously approaching the company, which makes sense. Very sensible, very real. So, I mean, the whole idea here is to really talk about, like, what's going on. Because I don't know the extent. I just know that we are in this range where, whether it's in another country or it's in a free country, people are becoming subject to anything that records, and not always in the best light. And now it's a matter of what can be done to protect civilians, to protect citizens, to protect individuals that are in these situations. That's the real kicker. And of course, being able to track anything that might be illegal, counter tracking, counter surveillance is always important, though I think more so on the civilian level, more so for people on the ground, individuals that may not even have the governmental means or means that a company might provide. I think it's so important that there are counter surveillance and counter-tracking measures, and of course, compensations for individuals that have to go through these experiences, because privacy is privacy. And even when there are situations where a company might say, oh, we might use it for training, well, when a photo breach is training, that sets the entire situation into a different light. So, that's just me talking about it out loud, because I'm thinking about it. It's really important. The next serious topic is about language. How beautiful language is. I love language. It's very, very important. I'm learning a few languages myself, about 5. I have a goal about 9-ish I want to learn, and I'm on my way to learning them, all of them. So that's good on me. It's in this situation where this chancellor of Purdue uses language in a way that is offensive.
So the chancellor of Purdue University Northwest is apologizing for a racist remark he made during a commencement ceremony.
Well, all I can say is, that's sort of my Asian version of his.
Yeah, it was awkward. Well, Chancellor Thomas Kean called the remarks offensive and insensitive and wrote in a statement, I am truly sorry for my unplanned, off-the-cuff response to another speaker. I assure you I did not intend to be hurtful, and my comments do not reflect my personal or our institutional values. Well, Kean says that he is directing an interdisciplinary team to address important issues to the Asian American Pacific Islander community at the university.
Now, initially hearing the gentleman speak, I'm thinking to myself, is he just speaking the language, though it's not accurate? Because I'm like, that might be it, but I don't know the language. So maybe he's just saying his version of it is just a language version that's just terrible concerning pronunciation, maybe the dialect. Though I come to learn that might not be the case. So I'm like, in regard to using language and appreciating language, don't disrespect the language. Sometimes I get into conversations about language. People ask, why am I learning a language? Why do I think it's important? And one aspect I always bring up is it's beyond a job. It's beyond just being able to be comfortable in a different country. It's about respect. And that's because, yeah, English is a popular language. At the same time, a lot of people come from different backgrounds, and languages have different histories. And they're well-rounding histories. I think there are good parts, and there are obviously parts that are not so good when it comes to a history of a language, history of an ethnicity, the people. The idea is that a language receives respect and appreciation for at least the good parts. That's what I look for, the good parts, because I'm not trying to live for anything other than the good parts. You understand? So I'm just thinking about positionship concerning language. I mean, this gentleman comes up on the stage. Of course, some people condemn him. Who's condemning him, of course, is a question. Who's smiling in the crowd, wearing the same garbs as this individual? What's going on in this person's environment that allows the person to feel comfortable to even use language in that sense? I think there are responsibilities that grow, that become more apparent the higher someone is. I say higher, but when a person is working in a different light to a different capacity. If someone is a chancellor, then of course I'm thinking to myself, well, I want to be as mature personally, not just because of the position, mature personally going into the position. I actually want to bring something up. It's actually like a little Bishop T.D. Jakes reference when he says, basically, you are what you are. So like a wife is a wife. I mean, it's subjective, of course, though I do think people, like I said, mature personally into becoming. So I like the idea, though, that when a person is what a person is, the person is what that person is. So if a person is a janitor, a person is a janitor. Whether that person is a president, that person is a president. Whether that person is a chancellor, that person is a chancellor. Of course, a position does not supersede personality. I'm just saying that there are alignments which are important personally and in relation to where a person wants to be, in relation to what a person is becoming. And of course, the responsibility to stand out in whatever position one is, to be able to say, okay, well, I'm mature enough to discern, or I'm mature enough to have this position. At least the people that hire me think I'm mature enough to have this position so that I can discern between what's right and wrong and have some effect in the environment I'm in. I'm like, this is important to talk about. It actually it's on my mind for a bit, and I just wonder what other people think. I'm like, we have to talk about this. This is so important. So that's a huge part of security. I mean, do you feel safe? Will you feel safe in an environment where someone that's supposed to be a leader, even if a person's on a board or in a space that you don't even get to experience or see, will you feel safe hearing that language in that kind of setting and seeing the people around that person making faces, or maybe in no way, whether it's political or not, making no interjection into what this individual is saying? So I wondered, do you feel safe? That's really important. Security is so important. Okay, so that's all the AI. That's all the security. I mean, it's time to get on to some lighter topics, like origami. So we're going to do a little origami exercise to lighten up the mood, exercise our minds. I'm going to show you a quick origami, and then we'll just continue on because there are some other things I want to talk about. I want to talk about anime, of course. I want to talk about how much I enjoy watching the Kardashians, duh. And of course, I want to do a quick couple of movie reviews. I like Devotion and I like Babylon. I think they're very, very important. So, 1 second here. We'll be right back after this special.
Hello and welcome to I Don't Know We Can Talk About It, which is in connection with Pietres.com. So, Kevin Dufresne's website, which is about expression, the choice to express in the public spheres, to bear in the wild your choice responsibilities, where beyond anyone and anywhere else you will encounter yourself. On the Pietres website, we'll find Pietres, music, books I've read, publications, merchandise, Forum of Pietres, and the About section. The Forum of Pietres works in tandem with the YouTube channel. I don't know, we can talk about it. The whole premise is to share anything that you might want me to review, whether that be a book, a drink, a show, a game, a movie, music, etc. And, well, we can literally just talk about it. So, you have to sign up for it, but that's the gist. Thanks for watching. We'll continue back to the main segment.
All right, we're back. So today I'm going to show you how to make an origami bowl. It's just refresh our minds. We have square paper. You can do it with the rectangle one, but we'll show you how to do it with the square one. All right, so basically you have to fold this paper here, square it up, and you're going to just fold it in half once. Now the side, if you have a paper like this where one side has a design, the other side is just whatever it is, just plain, you're going to have to choose which side you want as the outer portion. That's the side you're gonna fold inside. So you see, I'm gonna want this design on the outside, so I fold it in this way. Then I'm gonna fold it again in half. So I fold it in half twice. And then after I fold it in half twice, I'm actually going to have the side up like this. So you see how this side is up? See how this side is up? Then I'm just gonna take one side, you're gonna bring it down. And boom. After that, you're going to take the other 3 flaps and you're just going to bring it down. All right. Here you go. And now you're gonna have this like triangle. You're gonna open it. See the open side? You're gonna open it, and then boom, you're gonna press it into a diamond. So you press it into a diamond here, okay? And then you flip it. I did a nice little flip there because it's there. So you press it into a diamond, you flip it, bam, and you open it from the top here. Once you open it, see like it's like so you open it from the diamond top, boom. Then you just press it at the base, and here you go. You have a nice origami bow, and you can share it with someone. Also, if you put a little bit of wax at the bottom, spread it out here underneath, you can literally just float it a little longer. Put a candle there if you want on top of the origami. It will burn from the top. But anyway, wax will make it float longer. And there you have it. Nice little origami bow. Okay, so real quick, Bleach episode 12. Apparently there are going to be some new episodes, hour-long episodes, wonderful features. And I'm just going to talk about episode 12. What do I like about episode 12? Bleach so far. Whew. What I like about Bleach right now is just the consistency of the action and the art. The story is cool. It's hype. That's what Bleach is really about right now, is just being hype, getting into the story in an entertaining way. So episode 12 is funny. We're on the funnier side after coming from a super serious side, realistically, because they're at war. It's a 1,000-year war. They're doing a great job bringing in this new story. I have no idea about the manga. Don't ask me about the manga. I have no idea. Though I'm watching the anime because I like the anime. And that's what I have access to. I might have access to the manga, though I'm watching the anime. And I think that's the way it's going to be right now. So, Bleach episode 12 is cool. I do care about Ichigo's upbringing. I think they touch on it a little bit, so it's not such a surprise as much as they're making it. Though, I think that's all going to play out into this nostalgic flow for Bleach, so people can be like, oh, I remember when Ichigo goes through this before, and now he's going back through this again. And of course, the importance of coming back to one's roots and really learning about oneself to become truly whole is going to be obviously a factor in Ichigo's situation. Ichigo loses himself, finds himself to become stronger. It's not new, though the way they're going to do it may be very cool. So that's what I'm really looking forward to. Okay, of course, I'm just going to give a quick shout out to the Kardashians. I know, I really enjoy that show, Kardashians. It's one of the reality shows I appreciate because I guess it's really cool to see a celebrity family in just a different light. I'm done with the most recent season, season 2, and I'm kind of hyped about seeing season 3, if there is another season. Real quick highlights. Some people might wonder why I watch it. Honestly, on Hulu, I just started watching it, and I'm like, oh, wow, I like the Kardashians. I think their familial situations do relate to what a lot of people are going through. It's just on a celebrity level. So yeah, paparazzi, big. Speaking of security, speaking of safety, speaking of surveillance, you see it on a celebrity level, these public figures going through this on the daily. Then, of course, you see the business side of things, how each is becoming into their own, already in their own bossing, like Courtney, and of course Kim, and of course Chloe, and of course you get to see Kylie. And you see this little transition going with Kendall, because life is about transitions, and that's another part of the show I do like. Of course, we have a million other people that we looking at and say, well, look how these people are transitioning. It's just cool to see the transition from a perspective of, okay, if you reach a certain height of success, to be able to transfer. It's like going into a job, getting transferable skills, and surprise, you decide on a new career, a new pathway, and you take these skills, transferable skills, into something new, and you appreciate it, and there's value for you, and there's value for whatever you're working with or whatever you're doing. There's a whole new connection. So it's really cool to see that aspect. I think really Kendall's carrying that too, but we do see it in subtle ways in the lives of the Kardashians. Okay, so anyway, I don't know them personally, though I do enjoy watching that reality show. I don't really watch TV shows anyway. I watch a little bit here and there, but most of the time I'm reading. Most of the time I'm writing. And that's just my life. I choose to read. I choose to write on my own time as entertainment, as enjoyment. That's what I appreciate doing. That's what I truly encourage doing. So that is what we're going to get into the final segment, of course. Got to save the best for last. No offense to anyone that's beforehand. So we're going to talk about movies. I really do enjoy movies. I just don't get to watch as many movies as I like to because I am writing so much. That's the reality. Reading and writing, they go hand in hand for me. But all creative aspects work together. I might say these things again just because I'm talking to a camera and it's just the way I feel it has to come out. I don't know. We can talk about it. So, Devotion and Babylon are the two films I'm going to talk about. I actually talk about Babylon on my TikTok, which you can check out that little review there if you like. The whole point, though, is that they are two different films. Devotion is a film on the basis of a book of the same name, and it's a true story. Two naval officers, Jesse Brown and Tom Hudner. The story does revolve around the relationship, though it's broader than that. It's about all of the naval pilots in the experience of being in the Korean War as naval pilots, though also the bigger picture of life beyond war. So the premise of the film is heavy in just bringing everyone home, highlighting the family, highlighting what home is, highlighting comradeship, highlighting the importance of life, as I say, beyond war. The balance comes in socially with Jesse's experiences on the road as an individual. Those experiences, those bloom in the film. Though the film itself is just an appreciation for life and respect to it. So I do like the fact that they don't highlight war as the number one reason to watch this film. They do a phenomenal job with the airplane work. Oh, the film Devotion has these amazing air fighting scenes. The video game Ace Combat, I literally think of it when I'm watching the film. They do such a great job with every single battle scene. Every time someone's in the air with a plane, it's just so beautiful. It's so well done. And I really, really, really enjoy playing that video game. I don't play video games as much as in prior years of my life because I'm very, very busy. So I do appreciate when I get some sense of something nostalgic in that sense. It's really well done. But with the vocals, the acting partners do a phenomenal job. It's a beautiful film. It's really a beautiful film. I really like the film, and I think we can move on now to Babylon. So Babylon is like watching the evolution of film, like the history of film. There are documentaries about it which are cool to look on and I think relate very well with Babylon. But at the same time, Babylon brings about a perspective that I think is so important when it comes to looking at what film is, what acting partners are in comparison to reality. So there's this fiction, there's this reality. And the balance is what the film is showing. To say that there's a lot more going on. There are so many things people don't know about. All we're getting, the audience, are highlights. We're getting the film. So we're talking about movie magic, production, the work. That's what we're getting. We're getting the results of the work. And I do like how the film does show that more to filmmaking exists than just the magic. Like the Fableman, the film shows that aspect as well. There are a lot more aspects to creating a film. Life surrounds everything. Everything is a part of life. Everything is intertwining with life. So of course, we're watching it, the audience, unfold before our eyes in the film Babylon. Looking at all this mayhem, it's like the storytellers are telling us we have no idea And there are so many more genres no one has any idea about. And a lot of social commentary is in the film, particularly about LA and Hollywood, the movie industry. Of course, everyone has a perspective. So I think the storytellers are ensuring to let the audience know a life is bigger than we know. And as much as anyone in the audience is attempting to escape, there are people on the other side of the screen within these films that are trying to escape something that is larger and not so apparent to the eye. You know, life is bigger than everyone. Life is bigger than all of us. On an individual level, on a grand level. And I think that's what really stands out with Babylon. It's more than just a look good film. It does feel good toward the end. It's just big picture. Big picture. Okay. So now we're going to get to this book review. All right. We're going to get to this book review and I'll be right back with the Vagina Bible. And we're back with the Vagina Bible by Dr. Jen Gunther. So what do I like about the Vagina Bible? First off, the reason why I'm even reading the Vagina Bible is because I enjoy reading books about women's health, especially via genitalia. Though I think it's important just to be growing, even as a single man. Yes, I'm a single, cis, heterosexual man. I have to actually say all this in 2022. Can you believe it? Labels, I tell you. The idea, though, is that I really enjoy learning about women's health, and I think it's important to be mindful of what a potential romantic life partner / romantic partner might be dealing with, might go through. And of course, understanding what women might go through will help me better understand who I'm in a relationship with. Physically, health-wise, of course, there are other parameters of relationships that I do like to observe and learn about and just discover, explore. So the idea here is Dr. Jen Gunther is really going through a lot in a medical sense. So I find the book very educational medically. She touches on brief histories of certain aspects of women's health via genitalia, like certain tools, though the majority of the book really concerns diagnosing, helping one self-diagnose, though advising to not self-diagnose to a point where a person assumes a particular symptom is a disease, etc. It's just so a person can be aware enough to say, hey, this might be helpful in terms of medicine, and this is a way I can describe to my medical professional, my doctor, OBGYN, etc., how I feel, so I can better understand the language the doctors are using, and the doctors can better understand the language I'm using or what I'm referring to. I think the book works for both the patient and the medical professional. I think it's a good connecting point. Otherwise, that's the Vagina Bible. I like it. It's fairly simple to understand to me. Somewhat easy to read. It's not the most entertaining like some other books I've come across reading, though I do appreciate it as a valuable reference text. And of course, as more research happens for women's health, the more these types of texts are going to receive updates, and the more I'm going to learn about women's health. I'm low-key on the way to being an OBGYN. It's something to consider. At least I appreciate what they're doing. Okay, so that's the Vagina Bible by Dr. Jen Gunther. And that's a wrap for this episode. It's my first episode. As the saying goes, building an airplane in the sky. So, a few things I want to know. Of course, if you follow and subscribe. That'll be cool. Comment, please be in the conversation. The forums are available so people can just drop things in so I can refer to them, or you can just do it in the comments. And of course, I am really being proactive about this channel. I like the topics. It'll be once a week. If I get super busy, I get super busy. C'est la vie. Though, of course, once a week is what I'm going for, God willing. And so, with that, there are book raffles. Yes, bookmark raffles. So that people that have my bookmark can enter the raffles. I'll put the details, of course, in the description so you folks can join in the book raffle, because it's important to be able to give back in an interesting way and encourage reading at the same time. So with that, I want you all to know that I'm going to continue being proactive with these endeavors. What prizes will come will be a surprise. There will be one book raffle per month. Now, of course, there will be different types of book raffles. I'm thinking a monthly book raffle, a monthly bookmark raffle, a quarterly bookmark raffle, and of course, a half-year bookmark raffle and an annual bookmark raffle. So, as I'm fine-tuning things, of course, you'll have more details, though the prizes are going to get better with, obviously, the bookmark raffles that happen less than a year. So that's it for today's episode. My name is Kevin Dufresne. Onward and upward. May we see each other again soon. There will be more variety, because guess what? There are a lot of things going on in the world, and I don't know. We can talk about it.